Subaru BRZs, Toyota GR86s, the eligible cars. And 20 minutes of the session still to run once we get back up and running.
So the number 18 car, Sir Hing, is quickest car, 2:52.838. We've only had 3 flying laps completed. And gives you an idea, this is weekend 1 of 2 weekends for the 70th Macau Grand Prix. And it's busy out there. Very, very busy indeed.
And they've all found themselves on the big screens. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Yeah, it's interesting,
cool,
isn't it? Because at the start of the day, it didn't look that busy at all, but it has definitely picked up over the course of the day.
It really has, yeah.
And of course, tomorrow is race day, second part of the weekend, and this whetting people's appetite for the very international 4 days that we have at the end of next week.
Yeah, 4 days. It's kind of that gives you an idea of the gravitas of the event.
Yeah,
one
indeed.
day for free practice, 1 day for qualifying, and then racing all the way over Saturday and Sunday. It's superb.
So, Vincent Yip, whose car was damaged this morning in an incident, he is set to go back out, as also there is
No uniform.
Correct, another of the Toyota drivers. Green flag.
Toyotas look really good, don't they?
They do indeed. Now, session's restarted. Are there any takers?
Let us see. 19 minutes and 50 seconds of this qualifying session for the Macau Roadsport Challenge gets underway now. Cars leaving pit lane and make their way out in one long line of Toyotas and Subarus. Not everybody taking this up straight away, are they? So some staying down in pit lane, which might buy them a little bit of space on track, because that is quite busy, isn't it?
And compared to GT3 cars that we'll see later on, these look quite narrow, don't they? But
they do. They look little and nimble, don't they?
But get them together like that,
yes.
They still fill a lot of track.
They do.
So that's coming out of Mandarin, where that incident took place, where the liquid has been soaked up. And now heading towards Lisboa, with, so far, everybody being suitably cautious.
Such a great shot, that, with the shops in the background, as you were saying this morning. It really is everything about summing up Macau. Absolutely superb. So, getting heat back into tyres is the main thing here. And I can tell you, having just been out of the commentary box, it is hot.
Yeah.
Still very hot outside. The paddock is absolutely bustling with activity over there, and horns, air horns being deployed to let people know to mind their backs as cars are wheeled out into the paddock. It's really is a hustle and bustle of a paddock.
Yeah, it's not a quiet place, is
no,
it, Macau? There's always activity, there's always
this
life.
Is day one, David.
Yeah.
Day one.
For this year of 6. Yeah, these 2 weekends to celebrate 70 years. It's interesting that you talk to people in Europe, they don't necessarily claim to be motor racing fans, but you say, oh, the Macau Grand Prix, the what? And you say it's the 70th anniversary of it. Really?
Yes,
it's been going that long.
Yeah, it's true.
I was mentioning earlier on, while you're out of the box, that every time a driver does a heavy brake, on come the hazard lights. It's like an emergency stop.
Oh,
so you'll see.
Automatic.
Yes, on a few occasions the hazard lights come on, but it's at the part of the circuit where it's a really, really hard brake for a slow corner.
I think that happens with my road car.
Does it?
I think so, but I've never been at the back to look.
Fair enough.
Or, of course, I've never braked that heavy.
Either or.
One or the other. I think a lot of cars do that now. It's sort of inbuilt into them, isn't it?
But it illustrates what we've been saying earlier on about how pretty much standard these are. Very much a entry-level type car. And although they're run by teams as much as independent drivers, there you go, hazard lights on, hit the brakes, come out of the corner, hazard lights off.
That's quite cool.
So, okay, Sark car Heng the fastest at the moment, but it's good that you've got these cars with the limited modifications allowed, easy to police and lower cost as well. And it's a welcome change also from lots of Mitsubishi Evos, although it's not to say that they didn't give good racing. So 99 has gone through of Yung Chuk Leun onto his next lap, and this is the fastest man of the session then of Sekar Hung up towards the line, and through he goes now then on to another flying lap with 16 minutes still on the clock. So this lap is when we should start to get an idea of people improving. Just the one race this weekend for the Roadsport drivers, but sad to say, it looks like we've lost at least 3 of them after the incidents this morning.
That's a shame, isn't it?
Yeah.
10:20 tomorrow morning is the time for an 8-lap race for the Macau Roadsport Challenge. 10:20 tomorrow morning. Meanwhile, we are approaching half distance in this red flag stopped qualifying session, and still sitting at the top of the times with a 2:52.8 is the number 18 car of Sekar Hing. Mainly Toyotas. I think there are 6. Did I count up 6 earlier on? Subarus? 2.
Something like that. They're certainly not as numerous.
6. Yeah. The choice is free between the Toyota GR86 or the Subaru BRZs.
And it's a series that races predominantly in Chinese circuits, but has drivers from Macau, Hong Kong and China all on the grid, run by the Automobile Association of Macau.
So we've got a full set now for the car that sits on provisional pole position. Sector 1 was purple, Sector 2 was green, personal best, and Sector 3, nothing to celebrate. So let's see what this lap is going to be. The first of the quick laps after the resumption of the session. Number 18, Sekar Hing, with a time of 2:52.8, which is almost a second ahead of the number 21 car of Ivan Sito. And the car is pushing on, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, where was he this morning? 6th fastest in free practice, Sekar Hing, but he has done in this a really impressive job. He's looked racy. There is Ivan Sito, who was the quickest this morning. But he's found himself now on this restart released in traffic.
We're beginning to learn that the story of free practice this morning was not necessarily the story of qualifying this afternoon.
No, quite.
And that's free. Free practice, the very notion of it is you do whatever you want. You could be bedding in brakes, you could be scrubbing in tyres, you could be doing all manner of things during free practice. There's nothing particular that says that you need to put in a quick lap. It's good for pit lane position.
It is. It's also good for track knowledge. But it still amazes me how many people have wanted to make a race out of it and therefore got themselves into a bit of strife.
So Ivan Sito, we've been watching this lap, haven't we, for car 21, currently in 2nd position. Did a personal best in sector 1, nothing in sector 2, 3 and 4. But is this the start of a quick lap? Because I think the track is relatively clear in front.
Well, let's see, Ben.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, good line
Not
going
too bad.
through Reservoir, isn't it? 54 is up the road, which is Chankar Ping. 1 or 2 more looking rapid in the background, but Ivan Sito needs to find effectively a second, because it's 0.990 that he is down on Sekar Hing, and with 12 minutes to go, what can he do before the very end?
Let's see. No, nothing particularly special in sector 1, so that's not so good for Ivan Sito, the car that topped the times in free practice this morning. Only completed 6 laps in their half-an-hour session this morning to the Macau Roadsport Challenge cars. But it's number 18, Sekar Hing, who tops the times, 2:52.838. pretty much everybody is improving on their own personal times now in this resumption of the qualifying session. Coming up at the conclusion of this here at Macau on day one for the 70th Macau Grand Prix, we've got GT cars in the form of qualifying for GT4, then qualifying for GT3, and then the cars that open the day. Feels like quite a long time ago now, doesn't it? When we had single-seaters, the Macau Formula 4 race will close our qualifying at the end of this afternoon at scheduled 3:45.
It's 1:45 local time right now, so the organisers, despite all the stoppages, rattling through the programme.
Just under 11 minutes of this session remain, and a couple of overall bests coming in. One is for Ivan Sito. He's gone overall best in sector 3 on this lap, and also for 66 car, which is Chen Jiaxing.
No, that was his lap before the one he crashed. So
I beg your pardon.
He never got as far as a timing point to reset that line.
I didn't see him crash.
Yes, he was the red flag. So ignore him, or don't ignore him, because he's well placed to make a rebuild the car. But at the moment, I'm afraid he won't be circulating.
So just Ivan Sito's purple sector in sector 3 to get excited about on this lap. Although there are personal improvements right the way down the order. Not so for our pole sitter, our provisional pole sitter. And then on sector 4, not so good.
Yeah, so that margin is still 9/10 between Say and Sito. Next little wave of cars goes over the timing line there with Mike at the head of the queue, number 53. 77 you're looking at is Lam Hongfei. And this is courageous, 3 abreast then as they come diving down towards Mandarin, but Chan Ka-ping, number 54, is the bravest of the lot, and he goes through, and they all survive. Interesting that they can do that without anybody looking as though they were going to be in jeopardy.
Such a lovely sweeping corner, isn't it, that? Absolutely gorgeous. And on the run down towards the right-hander at Lisboa, just beside the Grand Lisboa Hotel. Lights up at night time like the proverbial Christmas tree. So for our pole position car, car number 18, we've got a personal best in sector 2 on this lap, so keep an eye on that. Nothing in particular on sector 1, nothing in particular on sector 3 now, just a quick sector 2.
But the way that this session has panned out, there's not really much to argue against, say, Ka-hing. Nobody's got that sort of pace, have they? Although we did just have an improvement last time around for number 71 of Wang Cheng, who's had a couple of race wins this year, so 8 fastest, and a good effort. But you could argue, so it should be if he's been a race winner. And who else have we got that's been an improver? 48 also, Joe Kwok. 19th in his group in the championship this year. He was another driver that went slightly faster last time through. 8 more minutes to go then.
That's the car that sits at the top of the times at the moment, the white and pink number 18 machine of Sir Ka-hing. Time to aim for 2:52.8, and this one is not going to eclipse that, but it'll be interesting to see what this time is going to be. A 2:53.2. So not far off.
No, half a second or so, yeah.
Not far off at all.
It's interesting as well, isn't it, that, I hate to use this word amateur, but these are not professional drivers as in GT racers or aspiring single-seater racers. So you give them half an hour to qualify, they'll take it. They're not interested in just doing one lap and then sitting in the pit lane and preserving time. They want to get out there and keep driving.
You wait all year for this.
Exactly right, exactly right. Rolly Sham here is 4th fastest and slightly quicker in the first sector, but then lost out in sectors 2 and 3. Up to 6th, there's just gone number 48, Joe Kwok, so that's another improvement. 2 laps on the bounce, he's improved, in fact, now.
And significant as well, our provisional pole sitter has just done purple in sector 1. So the way the car was skipping about, it looked as if the urgency was on.
Yeah.
So purple overall best in sector 1 for car number 18, personal best in sector 2. This is going to be a lap to watch for car number 18. Sir Kar Hing has pole time of 2:52.8, and this is definitely a push lap. We're looking at Rody Sham, car number 2. That car currently in 4th place with a 2:54.439. That was an improvement. So personal improvement, but no improvement in order on the previous lap. And keeping an eye on the provisional pole sitter, Sir Kar Hing, went overall best in sector 1, personal best in sector 2, and then neither of those in sector 3. So 2 more sectors remain. Is this going to be a further improvement? Lot of position. The car is quickest at the moment, but will it be an improvement in personal time? We shall see at the conclusion of sector 4. That's coming up any moment now, on the run down through Black Sands down towards Fisherman's. And it's a personal best in sector 4. This might be on for an improvement, you know.
I would go along with that. So this is looking very promising indeed, isn't it? Timing line beckons then. Up towards our bend now comes Young Chuk Lun. So 2 personal bests, 2 slightly slower sectors, but looking quick. And then here, 18 of the pole man, Se Kar Hung. Absolute personal, slightly slower personal across the first 4 sectors of the lap. So he's coming up towards the timing line, breaks the beam now, and goes quicker still, 2:51.583. So instead of being 9/10ths up the road, he's now over 2 seconds up the road. That's quite remarkable.
A lap bookended by overall best sectors, and a couple of personal bests in there as well, and a 2:51.583. The advantage over the second quickest car, 2.2 seconds. That's quite a tall mountain to climb, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, that needs him to make an error and go off the road. And I think he realises that he's now pretty much done everything he can do, because look how much slower he's going. He's done that lap, and having left nothing on the table, now he can crawl back to the pit lane.
I think he's aware that the everything was given on that lap, and in particular on the final sector, to further consolidate the provisional pole position. 2:51.5 for the number 18 car of Sir Kar Hing, and that's pretty impressive stuff. With 3.5 minutes to go, it's up to everybody else now, isn't it? And Ivan Sito just put in a overall best in sector 4, but still 2.2 seconds is the deficit to the provisional pole position. And in the final moments of this session now, so was there just the one red flag while I was briefly out? So just one interruption in this session.
And in fact, so slowly there was Se Kar Hing going that a white flag came out from the marshal's
really?
post. I think that sort of spurred him back into a bit of action.
Didn't spot that, You're not just driving for yourself around the Macau circuit, are you? You need to think about everybody else that's around as well. So this time keeping well over towards the left-hand side, because that's not really a passing point, is it, going down through Teddy Ip?
No, you're right, it's not. And there are enough drivers still out there who might be able to respond if they can maintain the pace, and that pace was being quelled by Se Kar Hung ahead of them.
2 minutes just over of the session remain, 2 minutes and 15 seconds to be precise. That's the 99 car of Yeon Chuk Lung in the Winston Motorsport Centre Toyota. Car number 99, which is currently in 8th position, coming up towards the conclusion of a lap for Yeon Chuk Lung. Up towards the line, break the timing beam. And remain 7th, 2:57.124 is a personal best for that car, the 99 car, but no improvement in position. There was an improvement for 41, wasn't there, Vincent Ip on that lap, so up to 5th place.
And he's steadily got on with that, bearing in mind that he lost quite a lot of running in free practice, being involved in one of the stoppages.
Chipping away at it. So Vincent Yip then up into 5th place. But I don't think, with 1 minute and 10 seconds of the session remaining, that anyone is going to be able to do anything about number 18, Sir Kar Hing. 2:51.583, some 2.2 seconds quicker than Ivan Sato, who topped the times this morning in free practice. But free practice doesn't count for the grid for the race. This does.
Yeah.
Into the final minutes of this qualifying session now, with GT cars to look forward to after this. GT4s first of all, GT3s.
And then single-seaters at the end of the day, which is going to be really interesting, given that there'll be as much rubber put down at the end of the GT session as there will have been at any point during the day. So it should be a quicker circuit. Flag is imminent then.
Yep. 10 seconds remains on the clock for the Macau Roadsport Challenge. And with only just a couple of cars putting in personal bests on that lap, the checker flag goes out. And I think it's fair to say that we have already decided who is going to be sitting on pole position. Car number 18, Sir Kar Hing. Ivan Sato not really able to do much about that in this qualifying session. 2.2 seconds is quite an advantage, isn't it? That was pretty impressive lap, that last one. So checker flag is out. Qualifying about to be completed for those that are out on circuit. Not that many. Quite a few down in pit lane.
Yes, you're right. And there was a wave of drivers that came in not long ago. But for Sir Kar Hing, an excellent qualifying session, that, giving him the top time by over 2 seconds.
Time to reflect with the team, to talk about anything that they need to think about before the race. I don't know what they're discussing there, just looking at the front of the car. Tyres, brakes, condition of tyres after qualifying. Could be any one of those things, couldn't it?
Make sure there's no damage on it.
Yeah.
But no, that was a really, really impressive job done there, the way that he attacked the session, and was only 6th this morning. It was good stuff by Sir Kar Hing.
Really good stuff. So
next question is whether or not Chen Da-Xing's car can be made good for tomorrow. Another example there, look, hit the brakes, on come the hazard lights. So this is Michael Wong heading up towards the line. So we're almost done, pretty much everybody's taking the flag now.
Currently in 28th place, that car. I beg your pardon, in 10th place, car number 28, up towards the line. And session about to be complete. Is there going to be an improvement?